Another big opportunity for the New Jersey Devils to claim some points in Chicago tonight, taking on the Blackhawks. Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And Jacob Markstrom returning in goal, looking to right the ship. As we all know, Markey has struggled pretty mightily in his return from that injury that saw him miss about 5 weeks. Markey back in the net, looking to get his second win since coming back from the injury. He's downright struggled in a lot of the games. I thought he played a pretty decent game last game against the Canucks, but we all know how that ended. Complete nightmare for the Devils on home ice, capping off a 3-game homestand, which saw them claim one measly point. 1 point out of a potential 6 points in that 3-game homestand. Completely disgusting. Going out on the road now. Got to get back in the win column. Got to get Markey going. Chalowski is out on defense. Shimo Nemec back in. That'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. We'll see. You know, the over-under, I guess, is about 10 minutes. Will he play over or under 10 minutes? Definitely will keep an eye on that. Lazar back in the lineup, as well as there was someone else. Lazar and now my mind's blank. Lazar and Bastion. So we're going to see. The boys are going to Chicago. Markey back in net. I mean, losing this game would be tragic, given, you know, how important the game is, given where Chicago is. But as I've said a million times before, there are no easy wins in this league. Any team is capable of beating any other team on any given night, and hopefully the Devils find a way to get this win. Huge opportunity, and they got to win. Losing tonight would be, man, 4 in a row. That's really gross. Absolutely disgusting. If you haven't seen it, let me get the link here. I had on Pasha from Spittin' Chicklets earlier today to talk about the Devils a little bit. Some of you probably were there for that, but I'm sure a lot of you were not there, so I will drop the link in the chat. Interesting conversation with Pasha. He's overall a little bit more optimistic than I am. You know, I'm a grumpy old man, guys, and I'm just fed up with losing, and I want to win now. But great conversation with Pasha. I just put the link in the description for that. I finally finished up the long overdue edit for the part 3 of the Cam Jansen interview. That is on the page. The video is not live, but it'll be premiering Sunday night at 5 o'clock. So check that out if you haven't seen the previous 2, and that's something you're into. Check out Cam Jansen interviews, part 1 and 2. Man, I'm jacked up for the game, though. Very excited for the game. They need to win in the worst way possible and just get some good feelings surrounding this team after struggling for these last 3. The game is not on MSG. I hate non-MSG games personally. I just like my normal, True TV and Max, and what's the other one? TNT. Another TNT special. They're probably furious. These were scheduled from way in advance, I'd imagine. So they're probably like, damn, we got a bad game. They probably expected the Devils to be a much more, you know, stronger team at this juncture. But it is what it is. Just got to win. Hotter Than Fire says must win. I hate using must win unless it's really a must win. And so for me, it's like a must win if you're in the playoffs or you're facing elimination in the playoffs or a game to keep your playoff hopes alive. We are getting out-of-town scoreboard help. The Rangers lost again, and it's crazy that we just might find ourselves backing into the playoffs, but they just got to make it. And then hopefully Markey can get super hot and steal some games and maybe steal a series. I would absolutely love to see it. It would be, what a phenomenal story it would be. I hope we don't get, you know, waxed like the Caps did last year, but they were the team that limped in and got decimated. Zupamaki. I have a bad feeling about this one tonight. Hope I'm wrong, but I see us coming out flat again and falling behind. That's been the norm. I certainly hope you are wrong. Obviously, first goal has been huge for this New Jersey Devils team, and for them to come out there and get preferably a multiple goal lead somewhat early would be nice. Playing catch-up hockey on the road, never fun, even against a team like the Blackhawks, and I am very much hoping that they score first and kind of put the pressure on the Blackhawks. Kyle needs to see some real urgency this game. Yeah, the thing that bothers me is, this has been known pretty much after the Four Nations break. Coming out of the Four Nations break, it was like, this is a pre-playoff run here. Standings are super tight. People fighting for their lives, jockeying for a position. Like, with 10 games left, like, why does it have to be so damn close? The team should have been playing a lot more urgent hockey from right out of that Four Nations break, but here we are. Lots of bad fortune. Obviously, the injury bug continues. Even Cody Glass is injured now. I mean, we just can't catch a break. Absolutely cannot catch a break. The injury bug is just looming over this team. Trubka, a loss today would be kind of embarrassing. It would, but don't lose. Don't lose and don't get embarrassed. Brendan plays, please don't blow up. Got to win. Got to win. Got to see some urgency and got to see some fight tonight. What's going on, John? Markey, get her done. Yeah, we need Markey to really have one of his signature games where it just looks like he's a brick wall. We haven't seen it in a while, obviously, since before he was injured, and hopefully we see a little December or January throwback performance tonight where he just looks unbeatable. Retlaw, APA, is it worth watching? It's always worth watching. It's always worth watching. You might, become nauseous at some points of the game or after, but always worth watching. I will always watch, and hopefully we get the desired outcome tonight and it ends in a big W. Go Boro, I hope so, but this is one of those that I feel like will be an L, but where we beat a big team, the old Calgary curse. Oh, no. Why are you guys being so negative? We need this win, and we need it tonight. Michael, we need a W, Ace. Yeah, but you ain't kidding. You are not kidding. A 4-game losing streak at this juncture of the season would be disgusting. Go Boro. Calgary curse is the 2023 San Jose Sharks against small teams, but against big teams returns to the 87 Canadians. I don't know if we're ever the 87 Canadians, but obviously this team, it seems like for the past couple of years, have played down to the competition of the weaker teams and struggled and have kind of elevated their game against the better teams. And I've said this a few weeks ago, that even though our strength of schedule down the stretch was rated as one of the easiest, that you didn't make me feel very good just knowing the history of this team with those kinds of teams. Now, obviously, I would rather have a schedule ranked easier than one of the harder ranked schedules because, some of the good teams are just, we saw what Winnipeg did to us the last time we played on trade deadline day. Absolute embarrassment on home ice. But the team still has to show up, find that fire, and beat these teams we should beat. But, the San Jose's and the Anaheims have given us trouble for the past couple of years. Michael S., tonight the Devils better come out on fire. Yeah, I would love to see a first period goal. Let's see a goal in the first period. Get the lead early. Chief Keef, let's go. Gents, go Boro. Got to sail the seas, Ace. You got to do what you got to do. Got to do what you got to do. What is no glasses? What's no glasses? I don't know what that is. And what is HBO? Is that the channel, HBO? Max? All these networks and all these streaming services is super annoying. There's just a never-ending amount of them. It's like overwhelming to try to keep up with. Go Boro. We don't exactly have the Calgary curse, but think this is what's going to happen. No, I think we're going to win tonight. I feel good about it. And hopefully my intuition is correct. This is a game that if you have any aspirations of being a playoff team, you got to win these games, especially after losing 3 in a row. Mike times 2. Who's Mike? What is Mike times 2? Hope Markey puts his glasses so he can track the puck. Yeah, Brendan, we are getting more out-of-town help than in-town help. People just keep losing. And I think as of today, I could have sworn I read that our percentage to make the playoffs was like 94% or 93.8 or something, which still seems crazy to me. But, and I think the number to clinch was 6 wins in the final 10 would guarantee a playoff appearance. I mean, how do you not go 6-4, knowing that will clinch a spot? I'd like to see. Go Boro. I'd have liked Jaws in net tonight. That's not going to happen. Come on. Markey's healthy. Allen is healthy. You're not going to see Dawes, barring injury, you're not going to see Dawes again until next season. Force, Devils leaving the front door open, but no one wants to come in. Shut the damn door already. I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll make a prediction before the end, even though I don't really like predictions. But Michael S., I love that Markey broke his stick at the end of the game. We need that passion from everyone. Yeah, no one wants to win more than Markey, and no one hates losing more than Markey. He's broken a couple sticks on the season. He's definitely got that fire. Super competitor, wants to play every game, wants to win every game. Hopefully, yeah, if half the team could be half as amped up as him, I think that would bode well for the New Jersey Devils. But, you know, you got to show it. Come out flying and just start smashing people. I want to see heavier, edgier, more violent. I want to see the heavier, edgier, more violent team we saw in December. John, hoping we could get some good juju for tonight. Yeah, I think we all are. Chief Keef, Blackhawks are a 17-win team. If we lose, I'm looting the team store at the Rock. This team is capable of losing to anyone, guys. I mean, that's just the reality. When they're on, they could beat anyone, and when they're not, it could be ugly. It could be very ugly, and I'm hoping tonight is not one of those nights. I do feel like this game, not that. It's just crazy that they're saying it's 94%. I don't know how. I guess they're just counting on us not. We'd have to win. Let me see. If we went like 3-7, yeah, I just don't see how they calculate it that high. It still doesn't make sense to me. Granted, we have a nice lead, but let me just see. The Islanders have played 2 games less, and they're 7 points behind. Yeah, how is that possible? If they won both of their games in hand, they'd only be 3 points behind with 10 games left. I mean, if the Islanders went like 7-3 they have, so let's just say they went 8-4. If they went 8-4, that would put them at 90 points. Yeah, and if we went 4-6, we'd have 89 points. I mean, I understand both of those things are not likely to happen, but a combination of the Islanders going 8-4 in their final 12 and the Devils going 4-6 in their final 10, the Islanders take our spot. I just don't understand how it's that much of a long shot per the odds people. But what do I know? That just seems... Trubka, also I hope no one gets injured because I feel like we're cursed. Oh, I mean, why would you think that? Because Dougie Hamilton, Jack Hughes, Jonas Siegenthaler, and nicohischier were all injured both last year and this year. Is that why you think we're cursed? It is crazy. The curse is real. The curse is very real. Chief Keef, don't lose and please booze. I like both of those. I like not losing. I like boozing. Hopefully we're getting celebratory drinks tonight. And that'd be phenomenal. Robert, old man Rob, back from the Army BS. What happened while I was gone? I may just start indulging in that dirty devil drink. Still keep the faith. What's going on, Rob? What happened when you were gone? If you missed the Canucks game, it was a heartbreaker in a shootout. And then Markey exploded his stick on the post. Michael S. Thanks, Michael. Hit the like. Hit the like for your boy. I always forget, but someone always will remind me. Oh, Cody Glass isn't playing no glasses. Go Boro. Ace, what would you think of a Devils jersey with even more stripes? Kind of a red version of the jersey without the jersey logo. Honestly, I think the old jerseys with the thick stripe at the bottom was beautiful. I personally don't like all the stripes. I think it's a little busy. And I think that old jersey is just perfect. I think maybe slight, like I've said, slight alterations, maybe with like different shoulder patches. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the Devil's Den logo. Either the head or the whole body of the skating devil with the stick, I think would be awesome on shoulder patches for a jersey. And my favorite one is that black starter that I've showed in a post-game live. That jersey is just perfect. That should be an alternate. Go Boro. I think we'll lose 3-2 to Chicago tonight, but beat Minnesota 4-1. If we beat Chicago, I'll deposit the apology in the chat. Oh, man, I hope you're wrong. I really hope you're wrong. Mike K, what up, Ace? Big game tonight. I got a date I can't watch. Mike, a date, Mike? A date on I don't even know what to say. Wednesday? A date on a Wednesday? Wednesday date night, Mike? Mike K, where's your date going tonight, Mike? Were you going to dinner? What kind of date are you going on? I'm very curious. You're missing New Jersey Devils playoff stretch hockey here for a date. This date better be worth it, Mike. It really better be worth it. Go borrow Meier and Cotter to score tonight. I like those picks. The March of Meier rolls on. 2 goals in a wasted 2 goals in that game. God, why couldn't we just 36 seconds? That shit's going to really piss me off. Big Ben, hot take, Markey will still end up as game 1 starter. At this point, Ben, I don't think it is a hot take because Keefe is basically, we all got caught up in the moment. It was always Markey's net to lose, and he did, not a full bounce back game, but he did play much better in the last game than he has previously since coming back from injury. I'm fairly certain it will be Markey's net in the playoffs, unless, he has some epic meltdowns in these final, however many games he plays out of the final 10. But we need to get him back to the top to have any sort of chance of making noise in the playoffs. LJ, Markey needs to just chop the first Blackhawk he sees to set the tempo. I'd like that. Michael tells Mike K just to take her to a sports bar. It's very interesting. Michael S., when was the last time the team had 40 or more hits? Oh, the magic of 40. Let me see if I can find it real quick. They've probably got it in some games, but still lost. Hits plus block shots last game, 27. Weak. And it was a loss. Senators game? Nope. Nope. Senators game, they got it. 29 hits, 13 block shots, 42. A 42 total there in the loss to the Sens. And 20 hits, 22 block shots in the Calgary game, also a loss. Terrible. What's going on, Matt? It's almost inevitable they will lose tonight, then beat the Jets. Damn you, Matt. And happy birthday to Matt, Mr. M. Payton, predicting a loss on his birthday. What's wrong with you, Matt? Come on, man. They got to give you a big win for your birthday. This is ridiculous. Lose tonight, then beat the Jets? How about they win tonight and beat the Jets? That would be phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, but happy birthday to you, Matt. Hopefully you're doing something good, and we see a Devils win, because losing to the Hawks would be, especially after losing the previous 3, would be pretty low. Redlaw APA, I wanted to make an 86 jersey with the face of Valaquette on the front and Instagram hockey on the back. That's pretty funny. I'm not mad at that, although I wouldn't even waste my energy doing anything related to the Rangers. I do hate them, but, I'm not too concerned, but that is a pretty funny idea. Forrest, if the Devils are losing the game, I want to see Markey skate over to the bench and go apeshit on the team. Well, I think it depends on a lot of factors. A lot of factors. I think certain goals bother Markey, whether it was maybe like a horrible breakdown or someone blew an assignment, either that or like getting screened by his own guy. Losing, I don't know that just losing itself would, or trailing in a game would bring that fire out of him as much as the way it happens, if that makes sense. But yeah, he's one of the leaders on the team. I love Markey. He's a fiery dude. One of my favorite players on the team, and I really hope he could get back to his A game and somehow steal around for this New Jersey Devils club in the playoffs against what would most likely be the Hurricanes, a team that I despise. They're at the moment they're up there. Obviously nothing will ever be the Rangers. I've explained this, Hudson River rivals. I grew up surrounded by Rangers fans and all the history between the two teams, so no one could ever top them in terms of hatred. But the Canes might be in second place at this point. And once upon a time, it was the Flyers, but they've been irrelevant for so long, and it's just not nearly the same. M. Payton, great job with Pasha. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. If you haven't seen it, check it out on the channel. Did a live with Pasha from Spit and Chicklets earlier. That's under the live tab on the page. Philip Kelly, Ace, tagged you on Insta. Seen us that Devils are 31st in goals scored above expected. Worrying, but not overly surprised. I'm not surprised at all. What did we've probably scored 2 breakaway goals on 70 attempts during the season. Like right there, that's obviously going to put you in a bad way in terms of goals above expected. So many breakaways, 2-on-1s. Yeah, just the lack of finishing in the goal scoring drought that rears its ugly head all too often. There's so many. I mean, how many games? I know some of you probably look at that win-o-meter thing. I feel like we've lost at least 5 to 7 games this year where we were supposed to win according to the win-o-meter by like a good margin and still lost. Kind of like how we beat the Blue Jackets last week when they dominated us in the third period and Jake Allen stole the game. I think they were like on the win-o-meter were like 85% or something, and the Devils won. Finally, the shoe was on the other foot. We've been on the other side of that so many times this season, and a lot of it comes down to just not being able to finish. What's going on, Maria? It was Dermy's birthday yesterday. Oh, man, I didn't realize that. Happy birthday to Curtis McDermott. Will we ever see him again? We'll see him again. I don't know if it'll be dressed for a game. You'll definitely see him again. I'm thinking he may get 1 or 2 more games down the stretch, and maybe even more so if we clinch before, however it plays out, combination of us winning and other teams losing. I think there is a chance you could see him, but I certainly hope that he would be in that lineup April 5th of the Ranger game, but we're definitely not going to have a spot clinched by then. And so depending on how some of these other things play out, there is a chance we don't see him again for the rest of the season, which is crazy, which is just absolutely disgusting. Hopefully we see him again. SST, imagine Markstrom leaving Calgary to win the cup with the Devils, and the Devils do not make the playoffs while Calgary does. Well, according to the geniuses, the Devils are 94% to make it, so it's looking like they will make it. Let's see Calgary. I haven't looked at the West in a minute. 4 points out of a wild card, or the second wild card. 4 points out with 3 games in hand. Yeah, that's a dogfight situation. They can make it or not make it. That's going to be another bloody battle till the end. Go Boro. Very possible. It seems there's a new spot taker per week these days. Detroit a little ago, Montreal a little ago. Now Islanders are hot. Watch Penguins get form. Yeah, the wild card's crazy. Crazy wild card situation. I want no parts of it. The Devils better just lock down this third in the Metro and punch our ticket to a first-round date with the Canes, and hopefully we could get some revenge on them because they've had our number for so long. Brandon, if the Devils lose tonight, they might as well pack it up, might as well give the team the extra rest for next year. The crazy part is, because of how bad the other teams are, they could still make it with losing a good amount of games remaining on the season. Turco, my man Brian, what's going on? What's your score prediction if you already didn't give it? I didn't give it. Let me look at something real quick before I make my prediction. I mean, Chicago's not good. It's just, I'm going to go. I think they confirmed Spencer Knight in goal. And this team bleeds goals. Holy shit. Let me just see something. Oh, my God. They're so bad. They've won 1 game in their previous. One game in their previous 8. Yeah, this is like, you can't lose this game. And they bleed goals, which I knew, but let's see. They gave up 4 there, 7, 13, 19. Oh my God. I'm going to go. I hate doing these, and I normally don't do it, but I will do it tonight. I am going 4-1 New Jersey Devils. 4-1 Devs. Chief Keef, I got 8-0 NJ. I got the boys drinking Dirty Devil vodka pregame. 8-0 would be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Philip Kelly, I recommend you check out the Cardiff Devils old logo. Then I've seen it, but I don't like things unrelated to the team. That's why, yeah, I'd rather just see the Devil's Den logo, which was super sick. They had 2 logos. One was just the head and one was the whole body. Beautiful logo. Would have made an amazing patch for a shoulder of a jersey. Michael says 4-0. I'm close. I got 4-1. Mike, hey, first date, NYC drinks in East Village. Haha, some Russian blonde chick. I don't know if it's worth it. Mike, I need to know. First, I need to know 2 things, Mike. How old are you? And did this date arrive from one of these apps? Apparently the apps, these things didn't exist when Ace was a young man out in the world. There was no apps. There wasn't the swiping. It's like you guys got the technology has gotten out of control. But I'm curious, Mike, did this derive from one of the apps? And do you have any fear of being catfished? Sounds like Mike's date is in Asbury Park. Michael, Markey is going to play on his head tonight. I hope so, Michael. I've been looking for a recent vintage Markey throwback performance. I want to see just domination. The Markey we saw in December, January, and that Markey is capable of bringing the team on a deep run, but we need to see him come back, and we haven't quite seen that Markey since he came back from the injury. Michael says going out in New York is never worth it. Go Boro. Ace, who's your favorite all-time Blackhawk? Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, honestly, there's a bunch that I liked. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go Jeremy Roenick. My favorite three would be Roenick, Eddie Belfour, and Chris Chelios. Those would probably be my three. I'm trying to think. I mean, I like Patty Kane too, but I'm always skewed towards the olden days. But Patty Kane, obviously, an American great. So I'm not. It's hard for I can't put him over the old school guys like Eddie Belfour, Chelios, and Jeremy Roenick. But Blackhawks have seen a lot of legends. And I don't classify him necessarily as a Blackhawk. Like, who thinks of Hasek during his, his Blackhawk years? Everyone, associates him with the Sabres, but I liked Hasek a lot as well. But he, like I said, was a Blackhawk, but he's more known as a Sabre. Mike, I need to beat Chicago before games against Minnesota. This is like a must-win game. It's close, but I can't call it a must-win unless it is. It's a gotta win. Chief Keef taxi beater Patrick Kane. Leo, remember Markey on that Seattle game? I want him back. That was crazy. The Seattle game is probably the best goaltending performance by a New Jersey Devil in some years, I would say, for sure. Mike, sports bar isn't a terrible idea, but a lot of girls don't want to see games. I feel like taking a girl to a live game is really the move, but that's not a first date idea. I need to know more details before I could say. I would say it's not a prototypical first date. But maybe you could ball like that, Mike. Get some nice seats. But yeah, I totally get it. And if she ends up sucking, that'd be terrible to be stuck at a hockey game. I think people are fighting in the chat. Richard, okay, boys, let's have a solid effort tonight. We can beat anybody and lose to anybody. Agreed. Timo with a goal and 2 assists. Nason finally gets on the board with one, and wait for it, Palat. I like that. 3-point night for Timo. Nason and Palat. I like that prediction. Do I think Markstrom is breaking another stick tonight? No, I don't, because I think we're going to win. He's going to have a great game. And I think all of his sticks stay intact. Go Boro, I like Markey too. Thought it was crazy. People suggesting trading him already. Said a lot. He could be streaky. Just got to hope he turns. Anyone saying to trade, it's ridiculous. The guy was unfortunately injured and missed a ton of time, and he's trying to get his legs back. Trading Markstrom would be absurd. He was firmly, in my opinion, the team MVP before he got hurt. Mike, hey, if Markstrom isn't solid tonight, we need to give Allen another look. For sure. Every start is big, and we need to get the old Markey back. But I do think you're going to see at least some starts. There's going to be, but we're going to see both of them at a minimum. Well, I can't see Allen. I think we see Allen maybe 2 or 3 games out of the 10. Assuming that Markstrom doesn't fall apart, which hopefully he does not. Hopefully we see the dominant Markstrom tonight. Philip Kelly, coincidentally, the last game in which the Devils had 40 hits was December 28th versus Carolina, the turning point game. That's when Marty Nate just rolled around on the ice like he was shot with a shotgun. Richard, most hated Rangers, then the tremendous disdain for Philly. However, the one guy I thought would have made a great Devil during their glory years was John LeClair. Oh, for sure. Love a big American power forward. John LeClair. Mike Ruff, I think we were in a surprise. We were in for a surprise in these last 10 games. We haven't been anywhere close to peaking. And if we get on a roll, then peaking in playoffs could be best case. Great interview with Pasha. I mean, if we're waiting to peak in the final 10 games, my God, I thought the peak was coming much sooner when we were on the 3-game win streak before we failed to win the 4th consecutive game. I thought that was going to be the start of the peaking. Turns out, no, it wasn't. Fake out once again. And so we'll see. Peaking right now somehow would be amazing. I can't say that I'm expecting it, but what a pleasant surprise it would be. And thanks about the Pasha thing. Always great talking to other Devils fans and picking their brains. And like I said, Pasha's a little more optimistic than I am, but you know, everyone has their own kind of viewpoint on how things are going at the moment. Richard says 4-2 Devils. Chief Keef 8-0 NJ. Michael Ace, I'm buying you a drink at the Rags game. I hope I'm there, but I don't know yet. It's always a game time decision. Always a game time. Brandon, I swear if we lose to a team that's got nothing to win for, I'm going to be pissed. Well, Brandon, that's the thing. Everyone has something, whether it's, trying to get elevated playing time and move up from maybe the 3rd line to the 2nd or the 4th line to the 3rd. Guys that are going to be free agents looking for paydays. And so there's always something, some underlying and personal stats, obviously, and pride. These are professional athletes. There's always something to play for. Maybe not necessarily, for the team, but on the individual player level, there's always something to play for. Always. Go Boro, thank you for the super. Win or lose, we cruise into the playoffs. Upside down and on fire. Let's go Devils. Woo. Thank you for the super, Go Boro. Hopefully we're not cruising into the playoffs. It really would be unfortunate after the start of the season we had to just exist and just float our way into the playoffs would really break my heart. I would like to see some sort of, improvement, a mini streak, whatever it is, for the team to feel good about heading into the playoffs, because just backing in and just limping to the finish line, it'd be terrible. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Go Boro Ace, what's your favorite drink to get around the rock? Do you mean at the game or like, I'm pretty basic now. I typically just do like tequila on the rocks now. I was a Jack Daniels guy for the longest time, but that shit gives you a terrible headache and it's loaded with sugar. I now just prefer tequila on the rocks with a splash of ginger ale. Beautiful drink. Beautiful drink. Zupamaki Ace, can you please not allow Rags fans trolling us around? Can't stand them losers. No, I banned one last game. My trigger finger's itchy. So, if they pop around later, I will certainly ban them for sure. I banned someone last game in my car. I was actually in my car. I was driving back from the game and banned somebody. Mike K, mid-30s. I met her while out. I'm recently single, so we'll see. Let's give it up for Mike K. Mike K is out there in the wild, getting it done, hunting in the wild, a lost art that many of these children would know nothing about, Mike K. Good for you. All these kids are like, I met her on the thing, and I swiped on her and sent her a message and an emoji and blah, blah, blah. Hunting in the wild, Mike. Love to see it. A lost art. A lost art. Brandon Lane, Dawson Mercer, goal tonight loading. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, I wish I was as optimistic as you, Brandon. That's a bold one. But, I mean, we already had someone predict, I think, a 3-point night for Timo with a goal from Nason and Palat. That's a pretty bold prediction. Oh, shit. I'm spilling stuff. I would love to see Mercer get one. But at this point, I don't care where they come from. Just score. Go Boro, Zupamaki. Sometimes we get cool Rags fans in here, totally fine. Plus, he does have a Rag friend that joins the stream every once in a while. Yeah, but a lot of them are obnoxious. When the obnoxious ones come, I'm sniping them quick. Bop, bop. Getting sniped out. Zupamaki has a tight one, 2-1 Devils. Listen, I'm not going to complain. Any win, I will gladly take. Hopefully, though, it's not a super tight game, so I could breathe a little bit and not be having heart palpitations throughout the whole game. LJ, Timo continues March of Meier tonight. Oh, man. I certainly hope so. The March of Meier. Hold on. I just want to get a paper towel. I'm an idiot and spilled the shit. I'll be back 1 second. I just got to get a paper towel. I got iced tea all over the place. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Clean this shit. All right. Like a child over here. Yeah, March or Meyer. Would love to see it. See some of those goals in a win. James S., I hate to say this, but I think this is a 2-1 loss. Oh, my God. If we score 1 goal tonight, this team's leaking goals. Look up their last bunch of games. They're giving up 4, 5, 6. I hate to say this, but I think a 2-1 loss. All the evidence points to this based on how we play down to opponents. I'd rather be playing the Canes or the Cats. Oh, boy. Force 3-2 Devils in OT. My heart cannot take another overtime. I just don't have that much faith in a regulation win. If we go to overtime, oh my God. Mike K. Kane, then Roenick. Hossa was good too, but always hated him as a Devils fan. Yeah, JR is my number 1. Hossa, I mean, I never really had any attachment to him personally. Slurp, did you forget about Bobby Hull? No, I didn't forget about Bobby Hull, Slurp. I'm only 40. I mean, I didn't watch Bobby Hull play live. How am I going to pick a guy? You know, that's like, I hate when you ask like younger people, like, who's your favorite baseball player ever? And they're like, Babe Ruth. And I'm like, Babe Ruth. I'm like, you, Babe Ruth. What do you know about Babe Ruth? I mean, I respect Bobby Hull, but how am I going to pick him as my favorite Hawk? At that point, well, why not say Bobby Orr? You know, it's before my time. Chief Keef, did you forget about Hawks legend Johnny Aduya? Jay Snow, Halla on the wing has actually been productive. Glass didn't travel with the team. That's bad. Yeah. The injuries continue up and down the lineup. Oh, wow. The chat just got much longer. Metalander showing my age. Bobby Hull, Stan. Is that supposed to be Stan Mikita? I don't know. Who the hell's Stan Mariah? Is that supposed to say Stan Mikita? Now I need to know. Is there a Steve Mariah? I think that was supposed to say Stan Mikita. Go Boro. Bobby Hull's a POS human being. Can't like the guy. Prefer his son. I don't know anything about him. Hey, Makita. Okay. Love Brett Hull. Brett Hull's a legend. Taylor Hall, Chicago legend, man. Plot is a waste of money. Michael S. Nemec is in tonight. Do we have the rest of the lineup? We know that Bastion and Lazar is in. I don't think there was any. It was like an incomplete practice. So there, to my knowledge, let me just double check. There hasn't been like a definitive lineup. But Tatar, Glass, and Dowling weren't there at morning skate. But supposedly, I think they said some of them skated yesterday. Yeah, we'll see. We will find out tonight. 2000 Devils must win. Not a must win, but it's a you got to win. You got to win. Jim Norton, Devils need a win. It's close to a must win. I agree with that. Chief Keef, Nemec should have been traded. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully he either turns out to be a great defenseman for us or he's traded for someone that could help this team win games. The Lone Wolf, need a goal for my boy Luke tonight. Markey bounces back. We win tonight. I like it. Luke Hughes getting on the board would be nice, especially after he got stoned in that shootout. Damn. Brandon, that would be sick if you took her out for a date at a hockey game tonight. She ends up being horrible and the Devils lose to Chicago. Imagine that night. They have to win tonight. We have the Jets in Minnesota. Yeah, it's 2 hard teams to beat on the road. Go Boro, got to tend to my friendos. Little guys need boops. I don't. What language is this? Stay well, Ace, and let's go Devils. Let's go Devils. Hopefully you're back later celebrating a win. Jay Snow, take her to the game, then go for drinks and food afterwards. Close the deal, my point. Oh, man. Mike K, keep saying Kovacevic is the best after saving that goal. It's funny. I've been meaning to look up the clip. My buddy texted me about it. I was at the game, but he did say that Keefe was like, Kovacevic is the best. After the media made that whole, that whole to-do about an off-the-cuff comment, which, I thought was completely manufactured. But Paulie Walnuts, Pasha earlier, pregame now, post later. If Boozeface put in so much time and effort, we wouldn't be in the situation we are. Maybe. This is a long day. This is a long day of Devils-related nonsense. Where's James C? We'll never understand why we didn't have Nico out in that last shootout. Yeah, I would have put him in the 4th spot instead of Luke, but I can't blame the loss on that. In the end, we should have never been in overtime or the shootout. Like, you got to close the game out. You're winning a game that you need to win at home, and you're under a minute. You have to find a way to win the game, period. There's no excuses. Get the puck out, whatever you got, even if you ice it. Don't try to be too pretty with the puck. Just make a quick decision and dump it if ice it if you have to. But allowing teams to score like that, it's backbreaking. Richard, I almost get as much joy when the Rangers lose. Last night was great than when we win. You guys may have hit this already, but last night was wild. Sabres win. I personally don't even care about the Rangers. Like, I know a lot of people do. Like, listen, I would love for them to make the playoffs and for the Devils to make the playoffs and for them to play each other in any given year. I'm always hoping for a Devils-Rangers showdown because beating them in the playoffs is awesome. But outside of that, like, I don't really give a shit what the Rangers do. But it is pretty funny that they were regular season champions last year, and now they're looking at a non-playoff year. The Lone Wolf, no consistency. Limping into the playoffs is a recipe for disaster. Hopefully they get on a roll starting tonight. Let's go Devils. Yeah, we saw last year. No one wanted to claim that last spot last year. The Capitals limped in, and the Rangers just decimated them. I'm super far behind again, or maybe you just have a lot of chats. But yeah, limping in is never good. Obviously, you want to be at the top of your game heading into the postseason. Mike, thanks for the applause. Absolutely, always got to applaud hunting in the wild. It's such a rare thing, such a rare thing indeed. Sunrise Art Cinema, the new generations are lost soft souls. Could not agree with that more. Richard Ace, maybe you've already done this, but maybe you've already done this, but maybe a where are they now? What are they doing on former players? I guess to some extent I could incorporate that in interviews, I suppose. Hopefully I have a stacked up slate of, former player interviews for this summer. And I could kind of incorporate that maybe a little more than I normally do, just for them to kind of talk about what they're doing now. I do like that idea. Chief Keefe says Dowling Nets one. Wow. Jason says Mike K, the best way to meet girls is out online. Mike K says, do you think lip filler is a red flag if a girl does that? Oh, man. I guess it depends on what is your definition of red flag, right? Like, everyone has a different, is a red flag mean like proceed with caution? Is it like a yellow light? Or is a red flag like abort mission, turn around, bail? Is a red flag like, maybe fun for the night, not long term? I don't know. So it depends on what your definition of red flag is. I am personally not a fan of the, what I would call, I guess, the Instagram thotty look, I think is what they would call it, with the filler and I'm not a fan of all that stuff personally. But a lot of people are, and it seems like it's been an epidemic. But I personally am against the collagen or whatever the hell they do with all that stuff. But to each his own, Mike. If it doesn't bother you, then you just proceed, my friend. Jason, now so many guys say are afraid to talk to females in person. Yeah, because they didn't grow up doing it. Sunrise. Listen, it does suck that this is a mid-team who's completely inconsistent. That being said, just give me one round of playoff hockey with no expectations. That's where I'm at now, Sunrise. And it's disgusting that I've lowered the bar to that point, because it was always like, win the damn cup. That, or bring us on a deep run where you're close to winning a cup. At this point, for me to even say out loud that I would be happy making the playoffs, it just shows how beaten down as fans we've been over the past years. Captain Mafungo, Cody Glass point. He's not playing tonight. And it's kind of shady. He's hurt in some way. So you're not going to see a Cody Glass point tonight. Oh, man, a lot of you are making some crazy predictions. Mike Ruff says, Nate getting a goal tonight. Book it. Okay. Force, hey, Mike K, as the Devils win tonight could be a good luck charm. Then you have to marry her so the Devils win the cup. No pressure, though. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. If we win a regular season game against Chicago, I mean, you know, Mike's just recently single. He's not looking to settle down yet. He's just having some fun in the village. Everybody take it easy. Cody Glass is out. Lone Wolf, any chicks doing the duck face selfie on these apps, man, gotta go. Ash, how are the Islanders close to a playoff spot? Because Lou the Genius is their GM, and they're going to make a push till the very end. It's crazy. It seemed like so many people had them completely written off and dead and gone a few weeks ago, and now here we are with them just still lingering in the picture. Brandon, at least on the bright side for playoffs, we're going into the playoffs with very, very low expectations that even when one game I'd be impressed. Dude, you can't lose and you can't get swept. I mean, winning a game, I'm not going to be impressed. I want to win the damn series, but at least win 2 games to make it respectable. 4-2 is a respectable series. Anything less than that is you got stomped. Do you think we could beat the Canes in the playoffs? I mean, we're obviously going to be a heavy underdog. With that being said, I do think we could beat them, but it's going to take a variety of things all kind of happening at once. Obviously, hopefully, the Canes just struggling on their own accord, combined with us getting offensive production from the bottom 6, and then most importantly, Markey's going to have to stand on his head. Luke, I can't believe Glass is out. It's almost like Boozeface should have drafted, signed, traded for a few more centers. It'd be nice to have right about now for sure. Yo, Holmes, I guess this is answer to the favorite Blackhawk, Bob Probert. That's a good one. Yeah, for whatever reason, I always associate him with the Red Wings more than the Blackhawks for some reason. But yeah, I mean, he played in Chicago longer than I realized. 7 years, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 2 teams. Probert, R.I.P. Probert. What a legend, man. He was nasty. He's nasty. Michael says, I don't think so. Come on, man. Be positive. Devil Heaven, let's please not take the Hawks lightly. This team cannot take any teams lightly. Look where we are, fighting for our lives. We were sitting on the throne. We were looking real nice in December. It was like, oh, we're still talking about possibly winning the division. It's crazy. And here we are. And so this team cannot take anyone lightly, especially given that we've lost to some tragic teams throughout this year. They got to make a push. It starts tonight. Brendan plays ace. I did not know you were 40. Wow, not to be weird, but you look way younger. I thought you were like 30. Oh, thanks, Brendan. But yeah, I'm actually 30. I'm about to be 40 relatively soon. Yeah, getting old sucks. Getting old sucks. Chief Keef, I think the Devils take the Canes to 6. I mean, that would be a respectable, a respectable loss. Getting crushed 4-1 or swept is tragic. Luke, Hall should have been on the wing all year, same as Lazar. Yeah, we have no centers, though. Jay Snow, he's been so much better on the wing. His days as a center are over. Devil Heaven, let's take care of business tonight. Jay Snow also agrees Lazar's not a center. LJ Hawks just dropped 7 goals on the Flyers in their last game. Hopefully they emptied the clip. I saw some highlights of that. What a wild one. Seven on, and I think the what's his face? The young hotshot Russian goalie was in. Ben Jamin, someone on X posted that Glass's wife is having / had a baby. I don't know if true. Oh yeah, because it's kind of weird. I think Keefe said something like he's not available tonight. I don't think he was hurt, so maybe it could. Yeah, he got like personal leave. Dowling is hurt too. I don't think he's hurt. I think they said he skated yesterday. Luke, Boozeface is going to trade Nemec for a 4th-line player, a la Holtz and Stillman. I don't think he would, because I think he knows the downside of that and how that's going to be viewed. I think we would hang on to him before that happened, Luke. I mean, that'd be a terrible return for a number 2 overall pick. John, I'm so old I saw Pete Stemkowski of the Maple Leafs raise the cup. Yeah, I haven't seen the Maple Leafs do anything. other than, constantly flame out early. Jay Snow, if the Devils lose and your date goes well, you'll forget all about the game. Luke, I don't think Dowling knows how to shoot the puck. He's allergic to shooting. Listen, I mean, he filled in admirably. He didn't put up a lot of points, but he wasn't like a liability out there. He was thrust into the NHL pretty early on in the season. Luke, Pasha interview was good. I don't agree with him on Nico. Also, Markstrom needs to play well and get a win tonight. Yeah, I don't agree with him on Nico as well. I think maybe it's a tad of optimism. He could be right. And if he is, I hope he is right. I would love to be wrong about this. But I think, Nico is loyal to an extent. If you feel like the team is not doing everything in their power to win a cup, which not spending LTIR money is not doing everything in your power, I have to believe he's going to prioritize winning over saying, I'm this blindly loyal guy. Again, I hope I'm wrong, but I could totally see him jetting, and I wouldn't blame him for it. Jay Snow, I'd rather Legary than Bastian. Yeah, I thought we were going to see more of him. I thought we would see more of him after his first little audition, but no such luck for him. Zupamaki Ace, I lived in the Ironbound for years, and being Portuguese, I think it's one of the best cuisine. Having said that, did you ever eat at any Tuga restaurants? And if so, which ones you like the most? I don't think I have. I'm trying to think, a Portuguese restaurant? I don't think I have. Now I'm going to look it up. What is like Portuguese cuisine? If there's meat, I would like it. Do you have any recommendations in Newark? Devil Heaven, let's get simple hockey. Get the puck deep, win puck battles. Let's go. Yeah. Playoff hockey. Do it in Chicago. Slurp, how about an interview with Mark Johnson? I mean, it doesn't really do it for me. I could look into interviewing like older guys, but it's just not the same for me if I didn't see them play. And I don't think it would be as good. I mean, you could do all the research and stuff and ask decent questions, but there's a little bit of a disconnect for me if it's like something like that. Lip filler. Henrique says Cody Glass is having a baby. Oh. These guys should be timing their wives' pregnancies so that they, that the kids are being born, in the summer. What is he doing? What are you doing? But yeah, it is what it is. These people are humans. They have to have lives too. Turco, Markstrom makes a goal on an empty net. Whew. I would love to see a Marky goalie goal. I think he took a shot. I forget what game. Didn't he have a decent shot this year? I think he did on an empty net. Luke, Blackhawk equals Belfour. Yeah, he's in my top 3, but I think if I had to pick one, I got to go JR. Richard, I've seen a lot of hockey. Just get into the playoffs tournament, anything could happen. Totally agree, and that is why I have forever, said just get in. With a hot goalie and Markey just playing out of his mind, anything can happen, but given the way the offense has looked as of late, it's not too encouraging, but just get in. Just get in and hope for the best. Devil Heaven also says Ronick. Stephen L. Yo, Ace, check out Second String Leather Company. They make wallets out of used goalie gear. I got a Jeremy Brodeur one last year. Oh, Steven, I knew about Second String Leather Company years ago. I missed out on the releases I want, but I'm actually hoping to do that's a company I would like to do a collab with. I have some crazy ideas, but I haven't haven't divulged them yet, but I have some interesting ideas. They do some really cool stuff. Dire Straits, no one is, I guess no win is guaranteed with this team. Lost to the Sharks 2 times this year. Pathetic. It really is. Devil Heaven goes Tony Amonte. I could respect that pick. Samuel HG. I guess it's hockey guy, maybe. Just had a show that pointed out teams with the highest point percentage from January 1st don't do better in the playoffs, not every year, but often. I could see that. What's going on, Nicole? This entire season, every team we took lightly did not go in our favor. Yeah. Losing to bad teams all year. It's unfortunate. LJ, Nemec's interview earlier, it's not easy for me, but I try to be like a pro. In regards to being in and out of the lineup, sounded mildly annoyed. Well, obviously, he's going to be annoyed. We had that whole incident with that report from a foreign overseas publication. The reporter, the whole thing came out and people ran wild with it. I mean, he wants to be in the league. He thought he had already, kind of made a name for himself after last year and probably assumed he was going to be a full-time NHL player going forward, and it didn't work out that way. It had to be a crushing blow to him. Nicole, no more taking anything lightly. Ash, biggest red flag, got to be supporting the Rangers, obviously. Brian J, what's up? I'm scared of this chat tonight if we lose. I don't even know how I'll do it. We better not lose. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it. Too bad we don't have Brendan Smith to knock out Bedard tonight. I was at that game. What a game. Bedard kind of ran into him, honestly. Like, Smith didn't even really step up into him, but he ended up with a broken jaw, and then he fought Foligno later on in the game. I was at that one. That was a very much a heavier, edgier, more violent game for the Devils. That one was wild. And I actually owned the Brendan Smith jersey that he was wearing when Bedard broke his jaw from that game. True story. Mike K, wonder if Bedard scores tonight. He's a great player, but not the most dominant first pick. Yeah, I mean, he was super hyped up. I do think Celebrini is going to be a better player than him. But I do think Bedard is going to be a good one. But I do think the level of hype around him was kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't think he has. They really made him out to be like, it seems like every guy that, especially Canadians, like everyone's the next McDavid. And it's like McDavids don't come around too often. Richard, Ace, 40 or soon to be is not old. I've got 23 years on you. I went through rotary phones, cassettes, 8-tracks, phone booths, and the yellow pages before you were born. You're young, my man. Yeah, I guess everything's relative, right, Richard? But I definitely feel old. And I went through all of the things you named. I had the old school phones, cassettes, not 8-tracks. That was before my time. Phone booths, obviously, the good old payphone, and the yellow pages. Man, I used to love. Some of my friends used to prank call the shit out of people. And the yellow pages was the it. Obviously, pre-internet, we'd flip through and call businesses or people. Man, the prank call days. LJ, the dooming would be out of control with an L tonight, but I still think they will get 4 or 5 tonight. 4 or 5 goals, I'm assuming that is. Luke, thoughts on John Tavares and free agency? I also hope Pasha is right. Knocks on Dowling or more about Fitz. Dowling is a good AHL guy to have, but just not for 82 games. I think Tavares, at the right price, I would take him. I don't want to pay him a ton of money, but I like all sorts of, veteran guys like that. And there's going to be some others out there. Who knows if they're going to go back to their other teams. But if Tavares became available and wasn't looking to, to break the bank. But after what Stamkos did, I have no faith. I think all these guys are chasing bags. They all want top pay in a tax-free state. But yeah, Tavares, he's going to be, he'll be 35. He'll be, this is weird. This didn't update. So he is, okay. Yeah. He'll be 35 going into next season. I would love him on even I would sign him for 3 years if you had to, but he's going to want crazy money. In a vacuum, though, Luke, I do like Tavares. I think he brings leadership as well as obviously being a good player who's a vet. Yeah, dude, he's going for money. He's got 65 points in 64 games. Yeah, someone's going to pay him $8-9 million a year times 3, maybe even more. Maybe a desperate team gives him 10 million times 3. I don't think it'd be wise for the Devils to invest that kind of money in him, but at the right price, I would certainly be interested. Shane Johnson was a bright spot on those bad early teams. Olympic gold medalist, but I understand. Shame. Did they release the lineups? Not the lines. We know they said that Nemec is in. Markey is starting, and Bastion and Lazar are in. But there's some question marks regarding everything else. Tony Amonte gets consideration too. Sunrise, I know the team is real corporate now, but at the very least, I like they keep OG players around and in the front office. Not sure that means anything, though. I mean, really, who are we really even talking about? Just Marty and Brilliant on the coaching staff? I would like to see more. Bring in all of them, or at least ones that could, bring some value. Start, bench, cut, Taco Bell, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A. This is funny. Start Taco Bell, bench. Probably bench Chipotle and cut Chick-fil-A. But I'm not too convicted on either one of those. But definitely start Taco Bell. I could go either way with the Chipotle Chick-fil-A one. Alex, Ace, you are a longtime fan, so you probably know all the tricks. Where's the best place to park when going to the Rock? Well, Alex, my question to you is, how do you define best place, right? So is to you best place parking the closest? Is best place for you getting out of there as fast as possible and not sitting in Newark traffic? I would be curious. So it all depends on that. There's no shortage of places to park. For me, best is always defined as how do I get out of this place as fast as possible? That is the best for me, which typically means parking a little further away, because the closer you park, the more of a cluster it is to get out of there. And if you haven't been to a game before, I will tell you that in certain spots, it could take you a long time to physically get out of the lot. And then once you're out of the lot, you could sit in pretty bad traffic trying to get out of Newark. And so for me, best is always defined as quickest access up out of there. And that's why I typically park a little further away for that reason. But there is a parking garage attached to the arena. You probably have to get there pretty early to park there. But most of the time, there's a good lot as well on the back side of the arena across from the practice rink on, Lafayette Street that you could park on. But that could be messy getting out. The Puckin' Devils. Ace, can you shout out my YouTube channel at Puckin' Devils? I love your content. Thanks, man. Check out Puckin' Devils, guys. Puckin' Devils. That's an interesting name. I like that. Turco, if we lose tonight, I want to see you down half the bottle of that devil juice. You're sick, Brian. You're sick. I don't want to get alcohol poisoning. If we lose tonight, I don't know. I don't know if I'll have the mental and physical strength to deal with what will be going on in here. Luke, I hope he's having a baby. Old school Lou would never let him leave for that. I'm trying to remember. It's funny you mentioned that. I was trying to think if I remember instances of things like that. I could have sworn there were a few, I think. Vic says start Chipotle, bench Chick-fil-A, and cut Taco Bell. That's ridiculous. How are you going to bench Taco Bell? Michael S., hit the like for our favorite therapist. Let's face it, we all need serious help for loving this team. Yeah, thanks. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Group therapy. Let's go. We need this win tonight, though. Jonathan says start Chick-fil-A, bench. Man, no love for Taco Bell in here, huh? It's a shame. James Israel, Blackhawks are in tank mode. If the Devils can't win this game, the season's over. But it's not. It's not over. That's the thing. It's still very much alive. They'll probably tell us, they'll probably come out with a thing tomorrow. Even if we lose tonight, they're going to be like, oh, the playoff percentages are 89%. Even though, it doesn't give me any, I don't find any consolation in those percentages and like, backing into the playoffs and just playing like shit and still getting in the playoffs is obviously not a good feeling. And so they got to just start racking up wins, and hopefully it starts tonight, but this would be an ugly loss. Dire Straits, Ace, would any of these players been able to handle Pat Burns? The Keefe is grinding them comments from Elliot Friedman and how some Devils are having a tough time adjusting. I think it all circles back to what was kind of revealed after last season between Fitzy's remarks and maybe some other people. He straight up said it was maybe too much of a country club atmosphere. That's a poisonous atmosphere. If you're running a country club with young players, it's not good. And so I don't think, I guess Keefe represented a kind of shock to the system. And Keefe would definitely be mild in my estimation compared to a guy like Torts or Berube. Like, I can't see him being anywhere near that intense. And so, it is what it is. The modern athlete is pretty soft. You got to get your shit together because this is pro sports. They grew up. A lot of them are these young kids that were coddled, and whatever that are they Gen Z? I guess I don't know. But these kids are all coddled. No one yells. Don't raise your voice. Everything's fine. And it is what it is. That's why I do believe a lot of the great teams from back in the day would pummel many of the teams in the current league because it's just a different athlete now. I missed the first part. A few of them would be able to handle Pat Burns. Markey would, for sure. My boy Dilly would. I think Stefan Nason would. I think Paul Cotter would. And I want to say I think Nico and Bratter would. Those are the ones that jump to mind immediately. But who knows? Maybe there's some guys in there that would surprise you. But I think a guy like Pat Burns would certainly, do some damage to some of the guys on this roster because they grew up in a different time. Philip Kelly says 5-3 New Jersey. Timo with the Hattie, Nico and Brendan Dillon. Okay, I like that. I like that prediction. Timo Hattie. That'd be swell. Sunrise Arts, I actually really like Bedard. I don't really have an opinion on him either way. Nicole says, I did love Smith. Yeah, Brendan Smith. He was a fiery guy, heart and soul kind of guy. Brendan, biggest red flag is a Canes fan. It's like 4 red flags in one. Philip wants to know, how do you speak to girls in public, Mike? Samuel, Devils have a habit of pushing D-men into the lineup too early. I mean, who are you talking about, though? Nemec was pretty much dictated by injury. We didn't have many options. And so it was a kind of trial by fire for Shimon Nemec. And he looked pretty damn good for large portions of last season. And then for whatever reason, the Albany stint, I always call it Albany by default, the Utica stint this year seems to have derailed him a bit, which is super unfortunate. But he's going to have to bounce back because, this is pro sports and it happens. Just because you were in the NHL last year doesn't guarantee you're in the NHL forever going forward. And he learned that the hard way this year. Richard, what's going on? Hey, are you hydrating from yesterday's sinking ship? Got to get a W here, man. Push, push, push. Let's go Devils. Yeah, I'm hydrating. This is actually, I had a lot of water before. This is iced tea. Max, win. Nothing more needs to be said. Pretty much. Just win. Just win. Zupa Maki, I'll definitely be dooming if we lose tonight. Oh, boy. Devil having ordering pizzas and cabs to people's houses. Classic. Before caller ID boxes. What a time to be alive. Richard, Ace, wishful thinking, we would like to see Devs make a strong push on Bennett. Probably don't have the jing, though. I love a guy like Bennett. I do think he's going to get a ton of money. Someone will probably overpay for him on a crazy deal. But, yeah, a guy that could give you some offense and brings the tenacity and snarl. Those are my kind of guys. Would love Bennett. He's going to probably get crazy offers. I think he would be foolish to not try to stay in Florida at a slightly team-friendly deal. But, they might be way below what other teams will offer. And I think if the Panthers come close, he would stay there. And again, it's a tax-free state. So they have that advantage working for them on top of being a very good team. But now that he got his cup He might say, screw it, now I'm just chasing money primarily. Will be interesting to see how that plays out. Vic, JT is playing really good hockey right now, but I don't think he'll keep that up. I think for even on a 3-year deal, I think he averages probably 60-point seasons. You know, we could use a 60-point, very smart veteran leader who plays center. Sign me up. Mark, must win against the bottom feeder tonight. Bottom feeder team tonight. Let's go Devils. Yeah. Again, I don't like using must win, but it's a gotta win. Rabid monkeypox. If Fitz is still part of the team in the offseason, nothing will happen. No quality pickups. I think he's going to be here for sure. Like I'm almost positive of it. So I'm hoping for the best. But yeah, he does his best work in the offseason. Doesn't do any in season, but offseason moves he could do. He had a great summer last summer. Hopefully he could replicate it again this year. Traveling Devil. I tried to see Bedard play twice the other year. Once versus Florida and got screwed out of a ticket from Vivid. Second time was in New Jersey when Smith broke his jaw. Got 1 period out of 2 games. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. But that game that he broke his jaw ended up being a great game. Samuel Allen is going to get some heavy interest this offseason for sure. I could see teams even offering him a 2-year deal. I think Allen has a chance to make a lot of money this summer. I do think the Devils will try to bring him back, but money may be the determining factor. That's a very interesting kind of subplot to keep your eye on. Max, Tatar, Glass, and Dowling missing from morning skate. Yeah, but I believe they said Tatar and Dowling skated yesterday. Today was an optional skate. And then apparently Glass is having a kid. I thought he was hurt. Someone said he's having a kid. Devil Heaven, I can't blame Stevens coming back, especially behind the bench with the stress of that job. I think Scotty's just chilling, living the good life in retirement. Max, best place to park is right behind Reds on Edison, closest to the arena, but a little pricey. However, it is a 1-minute walk to the entrance and the bars. There's Max's take on, I forget who asked that question, but whoever asked, there's Max's opinion. John, I park at Metro Park and take the train. I hate mass transit more than anything. I despise it. I just can't do it. Morgan Williams says the best place to park is at a train station and taking a train to the game. Jason, the Brendan Byrne Arena parking lot was way better. Yes, I'm old. Yeah, because you could tailgate there. Don't get me started. People are going to be like, shut up, you old head. All you do is talk about the old days. The old days are so much better, though. Max, didn't you down half the bottle on that video you did with the season woes? Not quite. No, it was probably more like, I don't even know. It was a good amount, but it wasn't half. SJ, man, if we lose to the Hawks, even I'm going to down something. I don't even drink. Yeah, it's bad. Taco Bell sucks. I typically try not to eat that stuff that much. If I could re-rank them, no, Taco Bell is complete trash. Chipotle is closer to real food. I would probably start Chipotle. I was just getting very nostalgic talking about Taco Bell, but in the end, it is. I mean, it's all garbage, right? But like Taco Bell's worse garbage than Chipotle. So I would start Chipotle. I'd still probably have to keep Taco Bell on the bench, though. I'd have to see their latest menu. I haven't been to Taco Bell in forever, or Chick-fil-A, or Chipotle. Max, if we lose, it might be a bleach cocktail. Yeah, I'm going to come out here with the Clorox. Devil Heaven, the good old days, cassettes, Laserdisc, the Jerky Boys. Oh, man, the Jerky Boys was classic. The Jerky Boys, some of those bits, I remember the first time I heard some of them, I was in tears as a kid. I thought it was the funniest shit. And then it just sparked my friends to do it even more. Nicole, it's insane that the stress of the Devils is my coping skill, and this is my therapy, but here we are. Terrible. Must win tonight. I don't want any more loser beverages. I need victory. I haven't sipped on victory vodka in when was the last win? That Columbus game? What was the date? It feels like a forever ago. It was probably only like a week and a couple days ago. What was the date of that? My last victory vodka. Oh, yeah, a week and a couple days. The 17th of March. 9 days without victory vodka. That's kind of a while. Ride and respect. I usually take the train because drinking, and it's only like a 40-minute ride or so for me, but they closed the stupid tunnel from Penn to the stadium on the weekends. Whoever's idea that was is an idiot. From Penn to the stadium. Oh, so you got to go outside and like walk through the streets? Baja Blast is an elite soda. I would say anything in the Mountain Dew family. I don't think I've ever met a Mountain Dew I didn't like. With that being said, I'd have to do a taste test of them all at once. I still think I prefer the original recipe Mountain Dew, but Baja Blast is pretty damn good. What was the other one? Do they still have Code Red? I didn't love that one, but it was still decent. LJ, can you imagine if Jack Hughes, if Pat Burns was his coach? Luke would literally hide from him. Yeah, no, that would be a bad mix. Which again, I when we were looking for a coach, I suspected that Fitz, because of a lot of the guys on the team, that Fitz might shy away from bringing in a guy that's kind of notorious for being a hard ass. Ash, you're crazy if you don't put Taco Bell start. Best food on the planet. Chipotle might be getting shut down also. Yeah, but Taco Bell, I feel like, has gotten worse over the years. It's definitely the worst quality. But why is Chipotle getting shut down? Ash, best ever Devils jersey in your opinion? My favorite is the green and with red. Looks so clean and stands out well on the ice. No, the best ever Devils jersey. Hold on, I'll get it. This always evolves into jersey talk, but nothing spectacular. But this is the best Devils jersey in my opinion. The old school white, which used to be home back in the day, with the nice thick stripe on the bottom. You got it on the sleeves there. This is like a 1994, 95-ish era Stevens jersey. The old CCM Ultra Fill. This is the premier, I believe, the cleanest, just most beautiful Devils jersey. When we used to wear white at home with that normal stripe, and it's not that tapered bullshit that they have now. This is the best Devils jersey in my opinion. The old school white. Rip Rogers, Smokey Johnson. Let's go Devils, show some fire tonight. They better. Devil Dog, I'm here. This place is huge. Nice. You're in attendance at the United Center? I've never been there. Behind enemy lines. Rob, great interview with Pasha, but he is way more optimistic about them than I am. I hope his views are more in line because I don't see it the way things are going. He's more optimistic than me too, but a lot of people tend to, be more optimistic, I suppose. I'm just so beaten down by the existence, the way this team has been tracking for years now that I just can't be optimistic anymore. You could only tell me the future is bright so many times before I'm like, the future is now. Metalander, if we don't play better defensively at the net front, Markey may break the stick over his heads. Well, we're going to see. Can Markey finally come back and shut it down like the Markey of old? Ryan and respect. Pasha kind of has to be optimistic. Everyone else in that podcast poops all over the Devils, so he's got to stick up for us. But I don't think they're one and the same per se. I do think there's a difference between giving an assessment and false optimism. I'm trying to think of all the things that we talked about. What did I disagree with him the most on? I think the nicohischier stuff. He seemed like he kind of reacted like it was a ridiculous notion to think that Nico could potentially leave in free agency, and I don't think it is at all. That's probably the one thing we diverged on the most. because I think, given how things have played out and the moves that were not made, I don't know that you're going to be able to easily sell Nico to sign an extension if he really values winning. Because, again, what has happened in the past couple of years? Nothing good. Devil Dog, another building with a totally better fan experience, and it's a 6:30 p.m. local early start time here as well. Luke, Devils can't lose tonight after throwing away 4 points versus Calgary, Vancouver, and with Winnipeg up next. No, we need wins. Just got to win the game. Carson, Timo was an in-season pickup. Yeah, the only one. The only one worth talking about. What else you got? There's nothing else. Cody Glass and Daniel Sprong. Luke, JT at Palat's contract will be a steal. We need a center that could step up when Jack or Nico goes down, and one will. He ain't signing that, Luke. You're crazy. You saw what Stamkos got? I think Tavares gets a very similar deal. Jonathan, Tavares also plays with Matthews, Marner, and Willie. Only a few teams have that much star power, but it doesn't take away from him. He's going to get paid. Devil Dog, we're asked not to come back to the Art Institute of Chicago for getting too close to the paintings. They were following us around. Is that real? You were in a museum and you got too close to the painting, so they asked you not to come back? Vic says, imagine a Keefe, Marner, or JT reunion. Marner's going to get crazy money, and I personally would have no interest in him. I just think he's not the type of guy that is going to help push this team forward. Cape Dweller, wasn't that Bedard game the same one that Jack hurt the shoulder? I don't think so. Devil, Heaven, Fitzy and Keefe should be here for a while. Not seeing any better GMs to go after with success. I think the bar is pretty low here, Devil Heaven. I'm not saying we need to bring in the greatest GM of all time, but I think any adequate GM could do a better job, if I'm being honest. I mean, you just cannot sit 2 seasons in a row and not be active when your team has clear needs. I just can't accept it. Richard, love hockey, but if you ask a Chicago native who is the first sports figure you think of, old timers will say Buckus, and then a bit younger, it's Jordan all the way. Hockey, though, Chelios. I mean, Michael Jordan's the most famous athlete of all time. Probably one of the most famous people on the planet. Luke, Marner going to be a rag 100%. Hopefully Boozeface can at least drive his price up like Lou did with Panarin. That'd be interesting. Marner to New York. Matthew says, I'm thinking we could get a Mercer goal to get us back on track. Someone else picked Mercer to score as well. Luke, Meadowlands was great, but no train and crazy bus meant it couldn't last. Did that many people take the train, though? I feel like, furthermore, how many people take the train that would drive if the train wasn't an option? I'm very curious. And this was also in the pre-Uber era. Like, Uber's a thing now. That didn't exist back then. Taco Bell is so good, though. Traveling Devil says Taco Bell is so good when you're hammered. It's so true. Devil Dog, people complain about attendance at Meadowlands because the arena was in the middle of nowhere and hard to get to. Now it's adjacent to one of the busiest train stations in the nation, and people still complain. I don't think that many people complained back in the day that it was in the middle of nowhere. Who are all these people? I would love to know. Devil Heaven says, authentic cooking, the best at home. Richard, catch up with you later. Got to take Dozer for his 300-yard walk. And then, okay. Code Red was fire. Devil Heaven, Ace, I found Dirty Devil Vodka going to grab a couple tall ones. One collector. Very nice. Very smooth. Very smooth. Scott Armstrong, I feel like if goalie fights were a thing, Marky might have the belt. That guy always looks like he wants to destroy someone. He fought someone in the AHL. I forget the guy's name. You could look up the video. Luke, Devils don't own the tunnel. The original plan was track 5 would reach the front of a new park in front of the new stadium. The first season ticket book has it in there. I still have it somewhere. Dire Straits, I like that Pasha said he became a Devils fan because of the logo, the best logo in hockey, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's one of the best, if not the best logo in sports. It's such a beautiful logo. It really is amazing. Vic, Ace, would you like it if the league switches back to white at home? The league is, I know I heard about this. I would. That's just how it was back when I became a fan in 94. And it was that way through the 02-03 season. And then after the Devils won the Cup, the 03-04 season, they switched it and red was home. I do like white better. I would like to see a switch. Ash, that Devils jersey is the one I use in Chell. Very nice. Pride and respect. The modern striping is one of the most egregious things this organization has ever done. Best Devil jersey as of late is the stadium. That I agree with, but that's not like an iconic Devils jersey to me just because it was a one-off. J-Dog, I'd really, really like to attend a playoff game. You should go if they make it. Hopefully they make it. I highly recommend it. Nothing like playoff hockey. Even the crowd is alive most of the game. Jay Snow, Devils bottom 5 team since Christmas, not getting overly excited. It's certainly, a fair thing to cite. Ride and respect, love the stadium. I think the Stadium Series jersey was obviously a hit for everybody. Jay Snow, the boys on Chicklets are being honest. They're not a good team right now. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. It's not like they're making, it is what it is. They're calling it how they see it. And then, what a bottom 5 team in the new year. I mean, what is there really to talk about? How do we get those Cup era jerseys back? It's never going to happen. Now that Fanatics has the contract, they're going to keep the designs probably very similar with small tweaks for a while. Collect records. That white jersey needs to come back so damn fresh. It's so sick. Sick. I love that white, the old school white. Devil Dog, I'm going to figure out a way now to cast your live here at one of the TVs at this United Center's charging station. That's pretty funny. That would be pretty funny if you hijacked one of their TVs. SJ, they got to wake up. They're hurting the Devils forwards, included freaking back check boys. Dire Straits, they ruined the jerseys with all this breathable fabric. The jerseys used to be called sweaters for a reason. Most of them were always breathable. I mean, the Ultra Fill, this one that I really like a lot, is pretty tight. I think there's not a lot of room, but like a lot of the jerseys afterwards, the pro players in 2000, the Cohos, the 01, 02 CCMs, they all were more of like a mesh that had holes in it. Stanley 62495, great interview today. When are you being invited to Chicklets? I can't imagine that invite will be coming anytime soon. Defense. Vic, that's where I got mine from. It was an online jersey store, 100% legit. Just look out for counterfeit garbage. Oh man, I hate the counterfeit stuff. Ride and respect. You'd be surprised how many people take the train. I want to know a percentage, or how many people. How about this? How many people you think per game take the train? Another train. Kevin says we need to move back to the Meadowlands. Luke says, Ace, the trains are packed. Devils draw better at Newark. Just look at the numbers. No, I know, but I don't know how much I could attribute that solely to the trains, Luke. Furthermore, doesn't the train go to the Meadowlands now, too? I'm pretty sure there's a train that goes somewhere right over there with that stupid Xanadu nonsense mall they made over there that's going to definitely go out of business at some point soon. I think it's basically sucked ever since it's opened. But doesn't the train go right through there? Ratlow says, I drove to the lands and I live 50 miles west. Oh, my God. Mike, hey, wow, this girl canceled while I was in an Uber on the way to the date. Hope that isn't an omen for the game tonight. Mike, I need to know more, Mike. When was the last – when was the date set? Now I have a lot of questions, Mike. You involved us, so now I'm going to get involved. First question, Mike, when was this date planned? That's question number 1. Number 2, were you going from New Jersey to New York City? That's my second question. So when was this planned? How far were you traveling for this? And what time was the date? And when exactly did she cancel? I have a lot of questions about this now. Ride and respect. Getting the buzz going on the train with some buddies is undefeated. That is definitely an upside of public transportation. Cape Dweller, Chicago hockey, Bobby Hull. Someone else said him earlier. Samuel, if hammered, it's all about White Castle. Oh, man, the Crave case? Come on. That's insane. Ben Jamin says, how is the intersection of Route 17 and Route 3 the middle of nowhere? Yeah, it seems like an exaggeration to me as well. Maybe not the most popular area, but it's definitely not the middle of nowhere. Crystal, Meadowlands was the best. I missed those parking prices. Yeah, I think there was I think I remember $10 normally. Devil Evan, I'm thinking Fitzy will be additionally active this offseason. A lot better time to pick up a couple key players in the offseason. Yeah, well, we're going to see. I don't think there's going to be a ton of cap space after Luke gets paid. Ash, would hate to get Marner, such a soft player, no playoff success. I know it's a lot, but I would love Kachuk for Casey or Nemec and some picks. They're not going to trade Kachuk ever, but if they did, it would be way more than you would ever think. I don't think they would turn down. They would likely turn down Casey, Nemec, and some other shit all in one package. Michael S. Ace catcher after the game. Let's go Devils. Let's go Devils. Mike K, I'm not upset, but I'm ghosting her now. They got to bring the black and red back to the rotation. Are you referring to the Stadium Series jersey? That was a one and done. Stanley 62495. Home white is the only way. Every game looks the same when the opponent is wearing white. It's stupid. I agree. Jay Snow says, could we please not get dog walked on national TV? That would be terrible. Terrible. The Fanatics contract is probably going to be eternal, I'd imagine. Fanatics has a stranglehold on everything. My buddy Goody, a win tonight is a must, and I would be happy. Let's get serious at Chicago and this team. This is a team they should beat, but we love to play down to these teams. I'll be happy with a W, but not hyped. Devil Heaven Ace, what's a good site to pick up black and red Adidas Stadium jersey? Let's see. I mean, the only place you'll probably find it now is like secondary sites like eBay and what size are you? What size do you require, Devil Heaven? Jason says Newark's also a horrible location. I agree with that. Luke, it's trains, more buses. The Meadowlands have shuttles. They suck almost as much as the old buses to the Meadowlands. Ash, Ace, how much do you think tickets will be for playoffs? Do you think my pizza delivery money will be enough? Well, I guess it depends how long. I mean, you know, eventually, depending on how long you're accumulating the pizza delivery money for, it should be enough. I would imagine the cheapest ticket first round against the Canes, upper levels will probably hover around $200. I would say you might get lucky and maybe be able to get in for like 160, 180 maybe, but I think it's going to probably be right around that $200 marker. Jonathan G says, why go to dinner with a woman when you could watch the good old hockey game? LJ says, Ace, I know you don't wear non-winner jerseys, but do you have a stash of current players hidden away for waiting for the day that they're champs? Also, any non-Devils jerseys, NHL. So I collect game-worn jerseys, and I would not wear them because they're game-worn jerseys and they're memorabilia, so I wouldn't wear them. I don't have any. I have like I said, I have tons of jerseys of guys in the current team that are not meant to be worn. They're game-worn jerseys that I have. In terms of jerseys that I have to potentially wear, no, I don't have any non-Devils. I have non-Devils, not NHL jerseys. Like I have some, Team USA. I have some Italy ones. But in terms of NHL, no non-Devils at all. Sean says, who goes on a date on a game day? I know, right? Ride and respect. Yeah, Newark blows. I'd literally never go there if the Devils didn't play there. I feel like 95% of the Devils fans are the same. Oh, for sure. For sure. Morgan says, Ubering to a date and not picking her up deserves it. Yo, I think my man Mike is I think he ghosted me. I asked a bunch of questions. He involved us in his date, and then he got shot. He got left at the altar, and now he disappeared. I need my questions answered, Mike. Ryan, she canceled so you can have a good time and watch the Devils win tonight. Hopefully. Let's go Devils. Morgan, colors at home is better, but color versus color, if possible, would be best. Preds yellow versus our red, Rags blue. Yeah, I don't know why they never did that either. I always thought that'd be interesting. I'm So this one I just found. Prepare yourself. These jerseys aren't cheap. Wait, who was asking for the jersey? Okay, 2X. This is probably as good as it's going to get. I just put a link to a Poshmark listing. That's for a Nico. Like that's a real Fanatics. I'm checking another site. Big color versus color would be sweet. Years ago, Canes at Ducks did that. It looked cool. I don't remember that. Ryan Demand, let's go Devils. Snell, Bratt going to snipe one tonight. Let's go Devils. Would love to see Bratter get back on there again. Sean, I got my Stadium Series jerseys on eBay, but had to get lots of pics to check for authenticity. I think the fakes are pretty obvious to spot if you know what you're looking at. Yeah, there's tons of fakes out there. Luke, I love when people shit on Newark. Chicago and Detroit are in nice areas. I'll take the Ironbound. Oh, yeah, for sure. But, most people's baseline is like other places in New Jersey versus Newark, not like Newark versus other cities that are even, Jay Snow, I literally went on a date on the night of the Oilers game, and of course they win. Where was your date, Jay Snow? SJ, 60 assists is insane. Bratter's a stud. I believe it's 62 assists to you. He's at 62 right now. I mean, they tried Hoboken, so it was Newark or Houston. Well, if it's between Newark or Houston, I'm always going to pick anywhere in New Jersey. Joseph, the Chicago crowd looks like it's mostly Devils fans during warmups right now. Is it on TV already? Reverse retro jersey, red, green, like that one. That was nice. Guerin or Ralston, who is the better overall NJ Devil? That's a tough one. That's what those jerseys are going for these days, Stanley. I don't think I'd have to look. If you want a blank one, yeah, go shop around. But let's see. You're better off looking for one of the Adidas ones, but there's tons of those Jack Hughes with the error. Yeah, maybe that's the move, to find one of the Jack Hughes error jerseys and then paying to get it stripped. And these have come down quite a bit. I haven't looked in a while. Don't buy that one I sent. I didn't hold on. I'm looking somewhere else. Once upon a time, that was a good price. Wow, these Jack Hughes ones have really plummeted. They released these. There must have been more of these that came out or something. There's way more that popped out. Yeah, Devil Heaven. Don't buy that one I sent. My bad. I haven't looked at the market in a while. You could find the Adidas version, which is better than the Fanatics. Jared says 5-1 Devils. No, the jersey has been sold out forever. The only place you're finding it on the planet is on the internet. They're showing the Kovacevic interview for the millionth time. Jay Snow, my date was in New Rochelle. We had dinner, then went back to her apartment. Okay. Luke, Aces Incorporated Jersey fashion doesn't date. I'm not giving dating advice. He brought it up, so now I want to hear the story. Pre-game on TNT. Okay, that means I'm getting out of here. Matt says I have a Jack Sign Stadium series directly from a Devils rep. If you're interested, we have a resident local here, Devil Heaven. Hugh stock is plummeting. Blank one would be fine. The blanks might be harder to find than some of the other ones. Stanley Ace, it's not so much the price. The reps are dog water. Back in the day, a CCM replica was a good compromise because they were pretty good quality. Yeah, everything's gotten worse over the years. LJ, I'm with you guys, Garen, although I did love Ralston. Yeah, I'd probably favor Billy G. Meadowlander, where can I get my blank Adidas Stadium jersey customized? Philly Express is the customizer that the team uses. It's called Philly Express. Philly Express. Sherry, glad we got to see Bratter break the record Saturday. Something positive that game. Good to see you there. You saw me there? I don't remember. I feel like sometimes my memory is going. Can't remember. I got that CRS. Can't remember. Jack, Ace, given the success of Holloway and Broberg on the Blues, do you think there could be another offer sheet or multiple this offseason? The Blues Oilers offer sheet was the first since 2021. Probably. I mean, some teams that don't, especially ones depending on where the compensation falls. I think offer sheets were like a dirty business move for years. I think now you're probably going to see it happen more and more because a lot of these guys are getting locked up when they're restricted free agents and they never become unrestricted. And so if a team really wants a guy, sometimes the offer sheet's going to be your only way. Riot and Respect going to head out for now as well. See you all after a solid win or devastating loss. Absolutely. Nothing positive about that Calgary game. I'm going to try not to get pissed off. All right. Thank you all for joining. On the way out, I will say, if you did not see my conversation with Pasha from Spittin' Chicklets, I'll just drop that. Drop that link in the chat. Check that out when you get some free time. The Cam Jansen part 3 of the interview is premiering Sunday. That video is on the page. If you can't watch it, it's just posted there. But, yeah, I'll be back soon. Lots of things in the works. Hopefully the Devils win tonight. I'll be back for the post-game live. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. And that's it. I'm sticking with my 4-1 prediction. Hopefully they win. And we're celebrating. I need victory vodka. Loser beverages don't taste the same. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.